Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to nighttime racing at a dirt-covered short track as we get set for tonight's Dustless Blasters Duels at Bristol. That's right, Duels indicating that we are going to have two races here tonight. If you didn't tune into the Tax Slayer Truck Series race here last night, unfortunately, the INI for this specific track, easy for me to say, doesn't allow 42 drivers on track at the same time. It only holds 41. And so therefore, so a driver does not have to miss out on the race, we're going to be splitting it up into two dual races here tonight. Now, the difference between tonight's races and the races we'll be seeing coming up in the upcoming weeks, plus the last three races that we've run at Daytona, Rio, and Las Vegas, is that tonight we are going to have two race winners, and those wins will count towards a potential playoff spot in the chase for the championship. Also, the points are going to be a little bit different in the fact we will not have stage racing tonight. There will be no stage points on the line. The only point that is basically on the line outside of regular points for laps led, most laps led, and of course your finishing result is one playoff point, and that will go to the winner of the duel number 1 and the winner of duel number 2. Each one will have a valuable playoff point towards the chase for the championship. That's the only outside point that can be gained in tonight's events. Like I said, we'll have two winners tonight, and those winners will have that win count in the point standings. So we had this in the Tax Slayer Truck Series race last night where we saw two first-time winners. We saw Paul Minnick and Alex Gray go to victory lane. Big opportunity for drivers here tonight to be able to do the same. Won't be happening in our Hershey's Cup Series race here tomorrow, but we're having it here for Tax Slayer Truck Series and Pizza Deck Series. As the defending champion of the series lines up on the pole for this first duel, that's J Gilbert. Alongside of him, Chelsea Bowles. Both these drivers coming in with good momentum out of last week at Las Vegas. Chelsea Bowles finishing 9th at Las Vegas, and J Gilbert just outside the top 10 in 11th. So both had good runs there. We'll see what they can do here tonight. A short track, normally you think track position is a big thing, and that might be the case here tonight. We'll have to see. They may handle entirely different from what we saw in the Tax Slayer Truck Series races last evening. But we're moments away from getting the command to fire the engines up, so one thing that we got to keep in mind here tonight as well is that with there being no stage points on the line, these drivers, they might not be so keen to try and get to the front. They might try and bide their time, wait maybe around 5th, 6th place, and then make a charge with a couple laps to go. Strategy's going to be a lot more different in this race than others. Let's go down trackside now and get those most famous words.
Drivers, start your engines!
50 laps of racing in this one. There'll be 50 laps of racing in the second duel as well. Let's give you your top 10 the points coming into this race, presented by Golden Corral. Austin LaPlante is the points leader. Actually, he's tied for the points lead with Angel Navarro. And we got trouble for Chelsea Bowles on the start of this race. Just saw she didn't get off the grid. Madeline Crenshaw, Daytona winner, is 3rd in points. 4th is Matthew Daleo. 5th, Chris Dollerton. Noah Kars is up to 6th. James Qualls, who's in this field tonight, is 7th. Christian Merrick Jr., Noah Pontzer, and Chelsea Bowles are your top 10. And it looks like Chelsea Bowles is going to have a good top 10 run here tonight. She had some issues here at the very start of this race, but here we go. First race, the Dustless Blasters Duels is underway. Let's roll. Not going to take long for the battle for the race lead. Trouble in the back. Well, almost trouble. One car almost got turned. I couldn't tell who it was. It was a red car, and they are 4 wide back here as the battle for the lead is on. William Brock over Kyle Keith. Look at this hornet's nest. R Reynolds, Daniel Olson, James Qualls, the caution is out. Caution flag is out. And they will race back to the line. Who's it going to be? Kyle Keith up the middle will lead that lap, and he'll lead us under our first yellow of the night. And by the way, I just saw back there the car that I saw nearly get wrecked that didn't bring out the caution. He saved it. Was actually Z Flickinger in the 96, but the yellow flag is out. Not certain who it was that was involved. Chelsea Bowles is on pit road. Oh, it might have been last week's winner, Angel Navarro. He's got some right side damage. Ralph Mason also may have been collected up in whatever it was. And Chelsea Bowles is getting service now on her 31, so she'll be able to at least return to the track. And I think now what she's hoping is this will be a race of attrition where she may be able to pick up some spots on the racetrack, but I think she's at least 1 lap down to the leaders and may fall another lap down. So she just came off pit road. So we'll document that in a minute. Kyle Keith showing the way out in front. Taking a replay. It will put us under the yellow for the first time here tonight at Bristol. You're going to see this a lot tonight and this weekend. Ralph Mason on the inside of Angel Navarro, and the car just steps out on him. It's a dirt track. Grip levels are at an all-time low when you have dirt racing surface, and Ralph Mason, just a little slip up there, and he collects Angel Navarro with him. Navarro coming into this race tied with the points lead with Austin LaPlante, who we'll see in the second duel, and he got some pretty significant damage, as did Ralph Mason. We'll have to see if they're going to be able to continue or not, but that's what put us under the yellow for the first time here tonight. Green flag and red come back out on lap 7 of 50. The pace lap's very quick here at Bristol, giving us a lot of opportunity for some green flag racing. Chelsea Bowles lines up on the inside line. She is 3 laps down. The drivers that were involved in the wreck, they have continued on, but we do have a driver out of the race, and that is Scott Roush in the 38, a gearbox issue for him. So tough break to start off the night for one of the entries out of KSR Racing Tech, as the green flag is back out here at Bristol. That's at least one spot that Chelsea Bowles is able to pick up here. Now she's hoping maybe that some other drivers encounter some issues. Trying to get one of her laps back from Kyle Keith. Gonna put her 2 laps down. Here comes Kyle Langeland, her teammate in the 77. Trying to use the 31 as a pick. Kyle Keith has a teammate, William Brock, right back there in 3rd place. Elijah Gilbert, the pole sitter, back in 4th. And there's Ralph Mason coming back to pit road. So it looks like the 99 is going to be spending quite a bit of time on the pit lane, trying to keep that car up to speed and at least trying to stay out of the way of the leaders. Since they're 3 wide up here, 2 of these drivers are battling for the lead. Kyle Langeland in the 77, Kyle Keith in the 29. Little contact there as they hit the start-finish line. Keith managed to lead that lap, but they're racing hard back there for about the 5th position too. Christian Merrick Jr., Chloe Ericsson side by side. Kyle Keith doing a good job on that top side, but he may have gotten a little too high off that corner. Brushes the wall a little off of 4, but still continuing to battle side by side with Langeland for the race lead. And this time Langeland may get him down here in the turn 3. Yep, he's got him cleared, and now Kyle Keith having to deal with the lap car of Chelsea Bowles, who is up to speed, and that's going to allow Langeland to maybe open a little bit of distance between himself and the 29, but Kyle Keith still hanging tough right there. Look at Kyle Keith. Oh my goodness, he made a move up the middle before coming to the caution. I thought he was going to try it again. That 29, he's able to put that car wherever he wants to. He now goes back to the top position. Couple of drivers starting to make their way up here that we may see in the conversation for this win momentarily. There they are, all battling right now. Joshua Osborne in the 70, PJ Williams the 48, and J Shelly in the 71. Joshua Osborne last week came into Las Vegas as the defending winner of that race, finished in a very dismal position. He finished, I think it was off the lead lap. Now looking for a better run here tonight. Coming into this race, the former chaser from last season, a 2-time winner, finds himself mired down in the point standings currently in the dead last position of 42nd. So definitely looking to bounce back, and tonight at Bristol Dirt could be the time. Look at this battle here. Elijah Gilbert, Christian Merrick Jr., Chloe Ericsson passing 2 cars for the price of 1. Now setting her sights on William Brock in the 62. Top 2 have been able to clear the lap car of Chelsea Bowles, Keith, and Langeland, but William Brock now trying to do the same in 3rd place, as Langeland now has his sights set on Kyle Keith, and Chelsea Bowles got up and into the wall. That'll help William Brock and Chloe Ericsson in their attempt to get by the 31 car. They're going to go 3 wide. Chelsea Bowles going to be stuck way up top. Contact right there between Gilbert and Ericsson as he stuck his nose in there in the 55. We nearly had a wreck up here involving drivers running in 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Now Ericsson clears Chelsea Bowles. Bowles up the middle. Big run there. Almost puts William Brock into the fence. But Chelsea Bowles, you wouldn't know that she's 3 laps down. That car is pretty strong, but unfortunately did not get to the start-finish line when the green flag came out to start this race. Started the race from pit road and paying the price for it now. She's got one of the strongest cars out there, it seems, but just doesn't have luck on her side with the fact that she is 3 laps down to the race leader. Christian Merrick Jr. is now in the 4th. Good showing here by a number of the drivers out of William Brock Motorsport. The 29 leading this race, the 92 and the 62 right now battling side by side for 4th. It's a good showing by these drivers. We'll have to see how the 4th entry of Andra Baranowskas does in the second duel. up front, Chloe Ericsson has been able to get around Kyle Langeland for second. So that 46 car has picked up a number of spots here. And is trying to shake free from the 77 so she can start setting her sights on Kyle Keith. Langland's going to take second place back from her though, so now she's going to get back around the Speed Energy Dodge before she can get to the 29. And boy, they are really racing hard back here, still from fourth on back. And look at Langeland, whoa! What happened to 77? He is slowed. Something's gone wrong on Kyle Langland's machine. I don't know what it is, but he just slowed right there. And now he's coming to pit road. Oh, what a tough break for Kyle Langeland. He was running up inside the top 5. Battling for the race lead not too long ago, and now it's like he's going to finish several laps down. It's an unscheduled stop for the rookie out of Fitzwater Australia Racing. Meanwhile, we're looking at the battle for third place. Joshua Osborne will take the position away from Christian Merrick Jr. And you saw there Langland still on the pit lane just now leading 3 wide back there. Oh, contact as Christian Merrick Jr. got the wall. Bounces down to Elijah Gilbert. That was a 3 wide battle for the 5th spot. And now Merrick Jr.'s car is starting to drift back there. And there's Langeland on pit road. It's a nice save by the 92. You can see a lot of right side damage to his machine. Not enough to slow him down, but it's a dirt track. You don't necessarily have to have the prettiest car to win this race. Elijah Gilbert getting the wall there as he tried to get a big run off of, I think that was turn 4. Osborne still trying to get by the lap machine of Chelsea Bowles. Meanwhile, Chloe Ericsson is closing up the distance between herself and Kyle Keith. We could have a battle for the lead in the next 3 or so laps. About 0.4 of a second separation between the 29 Chevy Camaro out of William Brock Motorsports and the number 46 out of World NOS Racing. This time by about the same. So Ericsson is running about the same lap times as Kyle Keith. Got to run a little bit faster. Might be wanting to search around, try and find a better line as we got traffic that they'll have to deal with up ahead. That is Angel Navarro and Ralph Mason, the 2 drivers that were involved in our only caution so far here tonight. They are slow and appear to be off the pace, and it could be these 2 cars that allow Chloe Ericsson to close up some distance. We saw a great battle in the Truck Series race last night between teammates Alex Gray and Jessica Miles, and slower traffic came into play in that race, so maybe it'll come into play in tonight's race. Laps ticking away at the line. We just hit 17 laps to go. Now, Kyle Keith going to have to deal here with the 97 of last year's Angel Navarro. Not the point today Navarro was looking for, obviously, as he came in tied for the points lead with Austin LaPlante. Keith makes very quick work of both Navarro and Mason. Ericsson does as well, and I think Ericsson actually closed up some distance too on the 29. Kyle Keith had to do most of the work of making the hole to get to the inside of those 2 slower machines. Ericsson just very easily followed through. It was about 0.4 of a second separation between the top 2, and it then was cut down due to that traffic to about maybe 0.3. And as soon as I say that, we now end up having to go clear of the traffic, and Kyle Keith opens the distance back up to another 0.4. So it looks like Kyle Keith is just a tiny bit better than Ericsson. And if Ericsson's going to close that gap up, she's got to do something different. She closed it up by 1/10 that time. So whatever she did last lap, she's got to do for another 2 laps, and she'll be on the back bumper of the Target Chevrolet. Looks like she's running a little bit lower out of 4. Let's see what she does down here in 1 compared to Keith. Drives it low, lets it drift up. I think right there is where it hurts her, though. I think Kyle Keith gets a little bit better of an exit off of 2, a little bit better of a launch down the back straightaway. Gap still remains around somewhere between 2.5 to 3/10. Ericsson may need a little bit more help. She either needs some more traffic to slow up Keith, or she needs Kyle Keith to make a mistake. Time is running out for her as well because we got 10 laps to go. There you see her trying to run a little bit lower. She gained a little bit more there on the back straightaway that time. So maybe if she can continue to run a half groove lower, fishtailed a little there through 3 and 4, got a little loose, that may lose her a bit of ground. She seems to be better in 1 and 2 than Keith. Keith, though, seems to be a little steadier through 3 and 4. Oh, that time Ericsson very nice through 3 and 4. Mashed the throttle, great straightaway speed. If she can do that this next lap, well, never mind this next lap, she's going to try and take the race lead now. Big run to the left rear quarter panel. She'll have the inside advantage through 3 and 4. Can she clear Kyle Keith for the lead? Yes, she can. New leader, the 46. Just took her time, waited for her moment, experimented, and now Kyle Keith getting into the wall as his line was taken away from him. So now Chloe Ericsson, who was the hunter a couple of laps ago, now becomes the hunted. Can Kyle Keith reel her back in? Kyle Keith's car got the wall there off turn 2 the last lap. That may hurt his momentum of being able to catch up to Chloe Ericsson. Another thing that's not on his side is time. 5 laps to go. Chloe Ericsson waiting for her moment, made the move perfectly, timed it, and I think maybe caught Kyle Keith unawares. 4 to go for the 46. I'm hearing some engines up ahead. I don't know if it's traffic that will be encountered before this race is over or not. Chloe Ericsson might want to look more in her rearview mirror than her windshield, though, because the gap is closing up again between herself and Kyle Keith. Keith is not going away quietly. Kyle Keith driving it really deep there into turn 1. And we know he gets a little bit better straightaway speed than Ericsson's been able to. Off turn 4, 2 laps to go. It was about 0.4 of a second last time by. Now 3.5 separation between Ericsson and Kyle Keith. Can Keith close it up to the back bumper of Ericsson coming to the white flag? There's the traffic up ahead. I don't think there'll be a factor though. White flag displayed one more time around for Chloe Ericsson. Kyle Keith about half a second back. Traffic ahead is J Qualls. It will not be a factor though. Through turns 3 and 4, Chloe Ericsson will pick up her first win of the season here tonight at Bristol Dirt in the Dustless Blasters, duel number 1. A great run there for Chloe Ericsson. I thought she was out of it. I thought that she and Kyle Keith were basically on level playing field in terms of the pieces they had under them. Chloe Ericsson set Kyle Keith up perfectly, completed the pass, and never looked back. So Chloe Ericsson picks up a win. Does that mean that she now is in the conversation for a spot in the chase for the championship? And she's the only driver tonight to pick up a playoff point towards the chase for the championship. Let's take a look at the finishing results from this first duel. Ericsson and Keith, boy, the rookies have done a great showing this season so far. So far we've ended up having a total of 4 races, and 2 of those races have been won by rookies. Crenshaw, Daytona, Ericsson here tonight at Bristol. Kyle Keith, great run for him in second. Joshua Osborne, a well-needed run for the guy who came in dead last in points. He'll get third. Fourth for Christian Merrick Jr. In the pole sitter, Elijah Gilbert gets fifth. His teammate J Shelly in sixth. PJ Williams seventh. Eighth for William Brock. Carson Gum in ninth. And Noah Pontzer, our winner from Rio, will get 10th place. Just looking down through the remainder of the finishing results, a couple of names that kind of jump out at me. J Qualls finishing last car on the lead lap. He came into this race 10th in the point standings. And, of course, A Navarro finishing 17th here tonight, 1 lap down, getting involved in that first caution, our only caution so far tonight. And he came in tied for the points lead, so certainly not what he was looking for. Same for Chelsea Bowles. Obviously, we documented her issue at the very start of the race, not being able to take the green flag when it initially came out. Finishes 3 laps down in 18th, and she came into this race currently situated, I believe it was, or actually, no, she was 10th in points. Qualls was 7th in points coming into this race. So a couple of drivers encountering some issues here tonight, and tough break for Scott Roush finishing out of the race. Only car to finish out of the race in the 21st position due to a gearbox issue. So that's going to do it for our first duel. Let's now get ready for our second duel here tonight and find out if we're going to have a repeat winner or maybe our 5th winner of the season here in the Pizza Deck Series. So with our first duel in the books, it's now time to find out who will be the second race winner here tonight at Bristol. And we've got an opportunity here. We've got some drivers in this group that are previous winners from this season that might be able to find victory lane for the second time this year. And that, of course, would only be one, actually. That's the 3 of Madeline Crenshaw. Everybody else here still looking for their first win of Season 3 of the Pizza Deck Series. You got Dougie Shears lined up there on the pole position. Talk about a driver who really could use a good run here today, and that would be Dougie Shears. It's been a very dismal start to the season for him as he finds himself 41st of the 42 drivers coming into this race in the point stands. And we saw Joshua Osborne, who came in dead last in the points in the first duel, have a good run. So maybe D Shears will be able to kind of dig himself out of the hole he's gotten into 3 races into the season. Alongside of him, a guy that really wants to find victory lane. In his last 3 starts, he's finished in the top 3 twice. He finished second at Daytona. He finished third last week at Las Vegas. After leading the race with 2 to go, you end up getting passed in the closing stages. That's Austin LaPlante. LaPlante, we already mentioned, comes in tied for the points lead with Angel Navarro. Navarro did not have a good run in the first duel, so LaPlante wants to have a good run today. Hopefully a victory in his case, but he also wouldn't mind leaving with sole possession of the points lead. We got Matthew Daleo lined up there in third. It's another driver that comes in good, running well in the points, fourth in the standings. We'll keep an eye on him and a couple of other drivers that I'll point out in just a moment that are top 10 the points that are in this duel. A couple of drivers also just on the outside of the top 10 looking in. But so far now, we've had 4 different race winners, and there's only 12 available spots in the chase for the championship. We have a 5th winner here tonight. Man, oh man. Early on, we can start talking about drivers maybe getting eliminated from the chase. Let's get the command for Duel 2.
Drivers, start your engines!
There's the command to fire them up. So the drivers will be looking at in this duel that come in running top 10 the points. We already mentioned Austin LaPlante comes in co-points leader. Madeline Crenshaw, our Daytona winner, is third in the points standings. Only 4 points back from the points lead, so it is possible that she could even jump over LaPlante and Navarro and take the points lead into next week in Atlanta. Matthew Daleo, he's 4th in points. Chris Dollerton, 5th in points. They're in this group, along with a couple of drivers that are on the outside looking into the top 10. Ashlyn Boyd in the 20 is 12th in the point stands. Jacob Rhodes is 13th, and Cole Deaver is 14th. And they're all in this duel. So a lot of movers and shakers could happen here. Get ready to go racing here in the Dustless Blasters 300 duel number 2. Let's roll. Whoa, little contact back there. I think that was Dollerton in the 1 and Baranaskas in the 2 as Matthew Daleo gets by D Shears early, and he will lead the first lap of this race. Ooh, into the wall goes D Shears. And now the battle is on for second, and now it won't matter because the caution's out. So let's follow this battle back to the line. It will be LaPlante beating Michael Haas, but yellow flag waves for the first time tonight, and oh, that doesn't look good. Big plume of black smoke lingering in turn 1, and that has DNF written all over it. Might have been a couple cars. That was a pretty big plume of black smoke. Ryan George is on pit road, and we just mentioned Ashlyn Boyd coming into this race 12th in the point standings. Jacob Rose, his teammate, also getting a piece of it, along with, looks like maybe Chris Dollerton, another driver who came in top 10 in points, came in 5th in the standings. I have corrected myself. I've been calling Ashlyn Boyd a female. It's actually a male, so I apologize for that. I am correcting that now. So Ashlyn Boyd, tough break for him as he got involved there in this wreck. Both of the Joe Gibbs cars, actually 2 of the 3 that are in this duel, involved in this one. And I said movers and shakers in the point stands, and it's certainly playing out already here early in our second duel. Let's see what happened to him. Now let's focus on the 4 of Ryan George. And oh, there you see it. Yeah, boy. Cold tires at Bristol Dirt definitely play a factor into grip, no doubt about that. Chris Dollerton on the bottom and slides up into Ryan George of the Jungle. Ryan George, along with Ashlyn Boyd, Jacob Rose. It's just one driver makes a mistake and a lot of others get swept up and collected into the incident. And that's one thing these drivers had difficulty with in the first duel, having difficulty with here in the second duel. And I've also gotten word that Ryan George, as well as Ashlyn Boyd, they have both already taken their cars back behind the wall. So a tough start to the evening for their duels. As we already mentioned, Boyd came into this race 12th in the point standings. Ryan George came into this race currently situated in the 40th position. So certainly did not need a bad run here tonight. And it's like a bad season just continues to get worse for that 4 car. They just took the green flag to go back racing here on lap 7 of 50. We got trouble. The pole sitter, D Shears, just got turned to the inside wall by Glenn Dewitt. And I think he saved it, but that's a lot of left side damage sustained on the Little Caesar Chevy Camaro. Still going, appears to be up to speed as they are 3 wide behind him. That is Jordan Anderson on the bottom. Dawson Wise put in the middle. Ooh, and a little contact there between the 11 and the 22. And here comes Benny Watson now. Benny Watson is a former winner at this track. Back when this series was known as the Almond Joy Series, Benny Watson won at this very event back in season 1. The other former winner from last year is not in this field, but the car he won in is. Stuart Gratton put the number 11 in victory lane 1 year ago. 11 with Jordan Anderson behind the wheel, trying to fight his way up towards the front of the field. He's currently in 7th. Now going to the inside of Benny Watson. Meanwhile, up front, Matthew Daleo in the lead, and the car that dumped Dougie Shears, Glenn Dewitt, right behind him. Both the Roush Fenway cars up here right now. Actually, the Roush Fenway cars are all 2, 3, 4 at the moment. You got Dewitt in 2nd, LaPlante in 3rd, and Aiden Shepard there in 4th. So Ford Mustangs 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then the Chevy of Jordan Anderson. It looks like Dougie Shears didn't really lose a lot of speed after clobbering that inside wall, driver's side first. He's now gotten back to the inside of Benny Watson, who's back into the 6th position. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets up there to that 6th car. He may not race him all that cleanly. It's a pretty blatant turn by the driver out of Roush Fenway Racing. What, Jordan Anderson's picking up spots though. He got by Benny Watson, he's gotten by Michael Haas, and now he's gotten by Aiden Shepard. Now sets his sights on Austin LaPlante. So that 11 car that went to victory lane at this track 1 year ago is really fast here tonight. Gonna get to the inside of Austin LaPlante, take away the 3rd position. Meanwhile, the battle for the race lead is on. Matthew Daleo out in front, Glenn Dewitt there in 2nd. Matthew Daleo, who has a total of 4 career wins in the Pizza Hut X Series, 3 in season 1, 1 last year in season 2, and we had a car that was just there on pit road. Well, that's J Jefferson in the Reddit Zaxby's Chevrolet. This, I think, is an unscheduled stop. Oh, and there's smoke billowing out of his engine. So J Jefferson, an issue for him. It looks like his day is done. As the battle for the lead has changed, Glenn Dewitt to the top position, and a gearbox issue, the cause of retiring for J Jefferson. Tough break for him. He joins Ashley Boyd and Ryan George in the garage area, and these 2 leaders are about to catch the slower machine of Jacob Rose, who got damaged from that first wreck. Contact as Matthew Daleo forces Glenn Dewitt up into the wall, and it looks like Jacob Rose comes to pit road to get out of the way of the leaders. Matthew Daleo back to the top position. Almost literally squeezed Glenn Dewitt into the fence. He's a veteran. Glenn is a rookie. Matthew Daleo saying, welcome to the Pizza Hut X Series, I guess. And now Glenn to the inside again of Matt. As these 2 continue to battle, this may allow Jordan Anderson, Austin LaPlante and company to catch up to him. I don't know if they can make up enough ground, as Dewitt will go back to the top position. So far, we've had a Ford Mustang go to victory lane here tonight in the form of Chloe Ericsson. Looks like the odds are in favor of Ford Mustang sweeping the Pizza Hut races here at Bristol Dirt. Getting close to the halfway points. They're still side by side, Daleo and Dewitt, and I thought that gap was going to close up from 2nd back to 3rd, but it actually gained a little bit that time on Jordan Anderson. Benny Watson getting some late surge here, as now he's up into the 4th position. And you got 5th place Austin LaPlante trying to hold off Alexander Rowe in the 09. Got a good battle 3 wide going on back here. Aiden Shepard, Patrick Curtis, M McIntire, as well as Michael Haas all in this group. This is for 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th currently. And not too far back as well as Dougie Shears in the 7th. Woo! Nice move there by Matt McIntire, opening up the inside on Aiden Shepard. And Matt McIntire will take the position. Now Michael Haas will follow him as well. Right now, Michael Haas, the only one of the Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas that is even running recently. Jacob Rose is already a lap down, several laps down, and Ashley Boyd is out of the race. Not without battle scars, though. You can see right there on the right rear of his Juniper Toyota Camry, he's got some damage. Alexander Rowe completes the pass for 5th on Austin LaPlante. Meanwhile, Benny Watson is slowly reeling in the 11. of Jordan Anderson. So that could be a battle for third before this race is over. But up front, it is still Daleo and Dewitt that will look like settle this out. They've got the car of Jacob Rose up ahead of them again. Jacob Rose last time came to pit road to get out of the way of the leaders. Doesn't look like he's going to do it this time, though. How will they deal with the traffic? Daleo to the bottom, almost got pinched down there by Jacob Rose. And Dewitt got a nice run there out of turn number 2 into the straightaway, and he's going to get to the inside here in 3, clear out of 4. Another car they're going to have to deal with up ahead, though. I think that might have been the one of Chris Dollarton as Daleo way up high through the corner. And no, that's actually Cole Deaver in the 15. It's another driver that we talked about that was just outside of the top 10, had a chance to move into the top 10 and points with a good run. And Cole Deaver now all the way back, currently scored in the 16th position, last car on the lead lap. 22 of Dawson Wise also is a lap down. I don't know how that happened. Last I knew he was on the lead lap. I almost wonder if maybe he made some contact with somebody. Maybe Jacob Rose, maybe even, well no, it wouldn't have been with J Jefferson, because Jefferson retired out of the race due to a mechanical problem. So I'm not rightly certain. Cole Deaver will now go a lap down, and now Chris Dollarton is next on the hit list for Glenn Dewitt, who's now opened a bit of distance, about a half a second between himself and Matthew Daleo, who's had much more difficulty dealing with traffic. But you can see, even the 6 car is not without a battle wound. He's got some right side damage on his Selfco Ford Mustang. And I think was from getting the wall at a certain point off of turn 2. And now he'll get to the inside of Chris Dollarton, try and put yet another lap car between himself and Matthew Daleo, successfully completes the pass. Matthew Daleo's last win actually came at a short track in the Pizza Next Series back in Season 2. He won at Dodge Motordrome. So he knows how to get it done at the short tracks, but does he know how to get it done at the short tracks that are covered with dirt? Ooh, almost a little contact there between his right front and the left rear of Chris Dollarton. Now he'll move his way by. So now the question is, does Matthew Daleo have anything left in the tank in these final 13 laps to run down Glenn Dewitt? I mean, look at some of these names we've got already that are, in the conversation for getting a spot in the chase for the championship. Madeline Crenshaw, a rookie. Noah Pontzer in his second full-time season. You've got, I just went blank of who our winner was last week at Vegas. Ah, shoot. Angel Navarro, there we go. Angel Navarro in his second full-time season. You got Chloe Ericsson, who won here earlier tonight, and right now you got Glenn Dewitt showing the way in this one. I mean, who would have thought 5 races or 4 races into this season, this would be the drivers we'd be looking at that could potentially be battling for the championship at the close of the season? I mean, I certainly didn't. If you had a top 10 list of favorites, I don't think that these 5 that I mentioned would be one of them. In trouble for Matthew Daleo. The 12 car is slow on the bottom of the racetrack while running in the 2nd position, and I don't think he's going to be able to get back to pit road. I don't know what's gone wrong on the Snap-on Ford Mustang, but Matthew Daleo has a big-time problem. His car is going to come to a stop. Will they throw the caution for that is the question. We're still green. And he teleports to pit road, no yellow. So that almost ices it for Glenn Dewitt. Now the best battle may end up going on for around the 2nd, 3rd, 4th position. Alexander Rowe has been able to get around Benny Watson for 3rd place, and now Matt McIntire has his sights set on the 4th position. Watson out of AS Racing, McIntire out of Michael Norman Motorsports. Watson coming into this race currently 17th in the points. Matt McIntire, on the other hand, is 29th in points. They're racing pretty hard back behind them, too, there with Patrick Curtis, Austin LaPlante, and Michael Haas. This is 6th, 7th, and 8th. You got Aiden Shepard riding there in 9th, and now a battle on for 10th. Under Baranowskis to the inside of Dougie Shears, who with that damaged car has been hanging in pretty tough, but looks like he's going to drop to 11th now. Meanwhile, up front, it is all Glenn Dewitt, who's about to now catch the car of Phil Parker. 3 laps to go. Last season, we saw Roush Fenway Racing pick up a victory, a couple of victories with J Shelly. This season, looks like the 6th car may go to victory lane for the first time. I believe the first time in Pizza X Series history, if I remember correctly. Parker not given a whole lot of room, so Glenn's going to make the inside work, and now the white flag is displayed. It's going to be a Ford Mustang sweep here tonight. Chloe Ericsson won her first career Pizza X Series race in the first duel. Glenn Douthitt, in only his 4th start of the season, he'll win tonight, duel number 2 at Bristol. Not as exciting a race as we had in our first duel, but certainly very interesting. There's no doubt about that, and without a doubt is going to be a point shakeup. I mean, it was looking like Matthew Daleo might be able to take the points lead if he managed to finish in 2nd. Problems for him. Do we actually know what happened? No, he finished 5 laps down and didn't actually retire out of the race by the time the checkered flag waved. Madeline Crenshaw thought maybe she might take the points lead over. She finished 12th. Austin LaPlante, he finished in 7th. So right now it's looking like LaPlante could very well still be the points leader heading into next week's race at Atlanta. But let's take a look at the finishing results. Glenn Douthitt going to pick up the victory here tonight, and the only driver in this duel to pick up a valuable playoff point towards the chase for the championship. So far we've got Crenshaw, we've got Pontzer, we've got Navarro, Ericsson, and Douthitt. 5 drivers that currently have themselves in the hunt for a spot in the chase for the championship. Unbelievable. Who would have thought it? Jordan Anderson going to come away with 2nd. That 11 car almost went to victory lane 2 years in a row here at Bristol Dirt. Alexander Rowe will get 3rd. Benny Watson, former winner here, gets 4th. Matt McIntire will finish 5th. And the rest of your top 10 were Patrick Curtis, Austin LaPlante, Michael Haas, Aiden Shepard, and Dougie Shears did get under Bernauskas back again for that 10th position. That was a good battle that went on in the last closing laps of this duel. Bernauskas will have to settle for 2nd, or for 11th rather. Madeline Crenshaw was the last car to finish on the lead lap in 12th. And then it was Phil Parker, Chris Dodge, and Cole Deaver all finishing 1 lap down. Matthew Daleo was 5 laps down, finished the race on pit road. Jacob Rose, after getting early damage, he finished 5 laps down in the 17th position as well. And then Dawson Wise, actually, he finished off the lead lap due to a mechanical problem as well. So tough break there for the 22. He was out of the race due to a camshaft issue. J Jefferson out of the race due to a gearbox issue. And then Ashlyn Boyd and Ryan George were involved in our only caution of this duel, finishing out of the race in 20th and 21st. So I think LaPlante will keep the points lead heading into next week, but man, oh man, what a weekend it's been, and we are just getting ready for the finale to cap this off with the Hershey's Cup Series race here tomorrow night. Hope you'll tune in for that. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's 2 duel races. Congratulations to Chloe Ericsson and Glenn Douthitt on their very first career Pizza Hut X Series victories. If you enjoyed this race, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to come part of the crew today. We've shown you full figure results from Duel 1 and Duel 2. These are your rookie points and your overall points heading into next week. Next week, we're going to have all 3 series heading to Hotlanta, Atlanta Motor Speedway, next on the agenda for NNSCRA competition, but not before we finish out our Bristol Dirt Race weekend with tomorrow night's Hershey's Cup Series event. Hope you tune in for that as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best. Good night from Bristol.